Okay, so imagine you're way back in time, like ancient times.
Oh.
And you're smack in the middle of a battlefield.
All right.
But instead of, swords and shields,
Yeah.
the two sides are fighting with a word.
Wow.
A password.
Interesting.
They called it a shibboleth.
A shibboleth.
And get this, if you couldn't say it right, you were in big trouble.
Yeah.
Like serious trouble.
Like life or death, maybe?
Life or death.
Oh, wow.
Is that wild?
It's amazing how, even back then,
Yeah.
people understood the importance of keeping things secret. It
Right,
was
yeah.
like that one word was a key to like a hidden door.
Totally. And fast forward to today.
Yeah.
It's like we're still on that battlefield, but now it's digital.
It's a digital battlefield.
Right. Our bank accounts, our photos, our work stuff,
Yeah.
it's all behind these digital walls.
Right.
Guarded by passwords.
Passwords, yeah.
And the stakes, well, they're higher now, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're talking about things that could really mess up your life.
Yeah.
Losing all your money, identity theft, or even,
Right.
companies or governments getting hacked.
It's a whole other...
It's a whole new level of importance.
Right. And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
AI is stepping onto the battlefield.
Oh, wow.
And it's changing everything.
Changing everything.
Yeah. It's like both sides got a major upgrade.
I see, like an upgrade.
We've got attackers using AI to crack passwords faster than ever.
Wow.
But we've also got the good guys using it to build stronger defenses.
So it's almost like an arms race?
Yeah, think of it like an arms race.
An arms race, but with code.
But with computer code.
Yeah, instead of weapons.
Yeah, constantly going back and forth.
Trying to outsmart each other.
Each trying to outsmart the other.
Yeah.
So let's dive into the scary stuff first.
Okay, let's get into it.
How is AI being used to crack passwords these days?
Well, one way is through what's called a brute force attack.
Okay.
Essentially, it's trying every single combination
Oh, wow.
of letters and numbers and symbols until it finds the right password.
Oh, gee.
But AI takes this to a whole new level.
Okay.
It's trying, imagine, billions, trillions of combinations
Wow.
per second.
That's insane.
That's what AI can do.
No human could keep up with that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it gets even wilder.
Okay.
There's this tool, this AI tool
Okay.
called PassGAN.
PassGAN.
Imagine this. It can crack over half of the most common passwords
Okay.
in less than a minute.
Wait a minute.
Less than a minute.
That's so fast.
It's crazy, right?
How does it even work?
So PassGAN?
Does it just magically know?
Not magic,
Yeah.
but it's pretty clever.
Okay.
It uses something called a generative adversarial network, or GAN.
The GAN.
GAN.
Okay.
It's like two AIs battling it out.
Oh, interesting.
One tries to create fake passwords
Hmm.
based on real ones that it's learned from,
Okay.
and the other AI is trying to figure out, are those real or fake?
Oh, so they're okay.
As they go back and forth,
Yeah.
they're getting better.
Right.
The one creating the passwords
Yeah.
gets better and better at making ones that look just like real passwords.
So it's like it's learning how we make passwords.
It is, yeah.
And then using that against us.
Exactly.
It's like AI is playing a detective game.
Kind of, yeah. It's learning.
Our passwords.
And here's another thing that's unsettling.
Okay.
AI can personalize attacks.
Oh, no.
So think about all the information that's out there about you.
Oh.
Your birthday, your pet's name, your favorite sports teams.
Stuff we often use in our password.
Right.
Yeah.
AI can actually piece together this information
Wow.
like a puzzle to create very specific attacks,
Hmm.
making it way easier to guess your password.
Okay, now I'm getting a little freaked out.
Right.
It sounds like our passwords are sitting ducks
I know.
for these AI attackers.
Don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom.
Okay.
AI is a tool.
Okay.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
Right.
So while some people are using it to break in,
Yeah.
others are using it to make our lives easier and to build stronger defenses.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Good.
So how is AI being used to help us create better passwords?
So one of the biggest helpers is the AI-powered password manager.
Okay.
These tools use some seriously smart algorithms
Uh-huh.
to create super complex passwords that you'd never be able to dream up on your own.
Oh, I can relate to that. I'm
Right.
terrible at remembering passwords.
Right, and these managers don't just create those passwords. They keep
Yeah.
them safe, they fill them in on all your devices.
So it's like having a super smart bodyguard
Exactly.
for all my passwords,
Yeah.
remembering everything for me,
Yeah.
making sure no one gets in without the right code.
And some of these AI-powered passwords managers
Wow.
go even further.
Okay.
They can actually analyze your passwords, and
Right.
tell you, hey, this one's a little weak.
Oh, that's cool.
You need to make this one stronger.
So it's like a personal password trainer.
It is. It can
Yeah.
give you tips
Right.
on how to make it stronger.
That's great.
A couple of the popular ones out there,
Yeah.
NordPass and Bitwarden,
Okay.
really secure,
Yeah.
easy to use.
Okay, so AI password managers sound pretty awesome.
Yeah,
But isn't there usually a trade-off?
that's a great point.
Yeah.
Between security and ease of use.
Right. You want it to be really secure,
Right.
but you also don't want it to be a pain
It's always a balancing act.
to actually use.
The best password managers are trying to find that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Strong encryption, so your data is safe,
Right?
but easy to use interfaces, so you don't want to tear your hair out.
Exactly. Nobody wants to spend hours
I hear ya.
figuring out how to use a password manager.
And that's where AI comes in.
Right.
Developers are using it
Yeah.
to make these interfaces that are both intuitive and secure. 1Password, for example, known for its great user experience and extra features. NordPass, popular with businesses.
Okay.
And Bitwarden, a great option if you're looking for something free.
Awesome. So there's a lot of different choices out there.
There are, and they all have their strengths,
Yeah.
but the goal is the same.
Right. To make it secure.
Make it as smooth and painless as possible.
But also easy.
Exactly.
So it's like having your cake and eating it too.
Right.
Strong security
Yeah.
and a good user experience.
That's what we want.
That's what I'm talking about.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to talk about.
Okay.
The way AI learns.
Okay.
You see, AI needs data to get smarter,
Right.
but where does that data come from?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
Yeah. And a little scary, if I'm being honest.
You're right to be cautious.
We're talking about something as personal as our passwords here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to know what data these systems are using.
Right. And how they're learning.
How they're learning.
We need to understand who has access to this information.
Right. So it's not just about the technology.
Exactly.
It's the people behind it
It's about the people behind it.
and how they're using it.
And that's something we'll be exploring more as we go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And how they're using it.
So we've talked about AI being used to crack passwords,
Right.
but also to make them stronger.
Yeah.
And now we're getting into this whole question of data
Right.
and how AI learns. Feels like we're peeling back the layers of an onion here.
Yeah.
Each layer gets a little more intense.
It does get more complex as we look ahead.
Yeah, speaking of the future,
Okay.
what does the future hold for AI and passwords? Is this cat and mouse game just going to keep going?
Well, one thing's for sure.
Okay.
The attacks are only going to get trickier.
Oh, great.
We're already seeing AI being used to create phishing scams.
Phishing scams.
Yeah.
Those emails that try to trick you into giving away your password. Exactly. But now, thanks to AI, these scams are getting so personalized and so sophisticated.
Right.
They can really fool even the most careful person.
So AI is making the bad guys even better at their jobs.
Unfortunately, that's part of the story.
Yeah.
But there's good news, too.
Okay.
AI is also helping us build much stronger defenses.
So what kind of defenses are we talking about?
Imagine a security system that's constantly learning and adapting.
Okay.
Watching for threats 24/7. That's what AI is enabling.
So it's like having an AI bodyguard
That's a great way to put it.
that never sleeps.
Yeah.
Always on the lookout.
Always on the lookout.
For danger.
Companies like Darktrace, for example,
Okay.
they're using AI to analyze network traffic, spot suspicious activity in real time,
Really?
and they can actually stop attacks before they even happen.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is.
It really does feel like AI is changing this cybersecurity game.
It really is.
In a major way.
And this is only the beginning.
Right.
As AI keeps getting smarter, this battle between attackers and defenders, it's only going to intensify.
So what does this all mean for the everyday internet user?
Yeah.
Like me and everyone listening.
Uh-huh.
Are we just stuck in the middle of this AI battle?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Even though the technology might seem overwhelming,
Right.
there are simple things we can all do
to
protect ourselves.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right.
What are the most important things people should know?
Well, first and foremost,
Yeah.
don't underestimate the power of a good password.
Right.
Strong, unique password for each of your accounts.
So password 123 is a big no.
Definitely not a good idea.
Okay.
And don't use the same password for multiple accounts.
Right.
That's like using the same key.
Okay.
For your house, your car, and your office.
Right.
It only takes one to be compromised.
For everything to be at risk.
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense.
Be cautious about those phishing scams.
Right.
Don't click on links
Right.
in emails or messages
Right.
that seem suspicious.
Even if they look like they're from someone you know.
Exactly.
Okay.
Double check the sender's address
before
you click anything.
So like a healthy dose of skepticism.
Absolutely.
That's good.
When it comes to emails
Right.
and online messaging.
Online messages, okay.
And remember,
Yeah.
if something sounds too good to be true,
Right.
it probably is.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Okay, those are some really helpful tips.
Good.
It sounds like a mix of common sense
Yeah.
and being aware of how AI is being used
Being aware,
can really go a long way.
it can.
Yeah.
The more you understand about AI
Right.
and its role in password security,
Yeah.
the better equipped you'll be.
To make smart choices.
Exactly.
Okay, and speaking of smart choices,
Okay.
let's circle back to those AI-powered password managers
Yeah.
we talked about earlier. They sound like a good option
They're a great option.
for keeping our passwords organized
Yeah.
and secure.
Secure.
But are they the ultimate solution?
That's the question.
Can they really solve the password problem
Mhm.
once and for all?
Well, AI is a powerful tool,
Yeah.
but it's not a magic wand.
Right.
Even with the best AI-powered security,
Yeah.
there's always going to be some level of risk.
So it's kind of like wearing a seatbelt. It doesn't guarantee you won't get in an accident,
Right.
but it can definitely help protect you
That's a perfect analogy.
if you do.
Yeah, and just like with seatbelts,
Yeah.
the more people that use strong passwords, AI-powered security tools,
Yeah.
the safer we'll all be.
So it's a team effort.
It is.
We all have a role to play
We do.
in creating a more secure digital world.
Exactly. It's about looking out for ourselves
Right.
and for each other.
And for each other. Okay.
Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, I want to touch on something we briefly discussed earlier.
All right.
We've talked a lot about the technology itself.
Yeah.
But what about the people behind it?
The people behind it, that's important.
Are there any concerns
Yeah.
about how AI is being developed?
Well, AI is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
And like any powerful tool, it needs to be used responsibly.
Right. So what are some of the things people should be thinking about?
One of the biggest concerns is data privacy.
Data privacy,
Yeah,
right?
AI needs a lot of data to learn
Right.
and get better.
To get better.
And sometimes that data includes personal information.
Like stuff we might use in our passwords.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's crucial to ask, where is this data coming from?
Right.
Who has access to it?
Right.
How is it being protected?
So transparency is really important here.
Transparency is key.
We need to know how our data is being used,
Absolutely.
especially when it comes to something as sensitive as our passwords.
You're absolutely right. It's not just about protecting our data from hackers, but also from potential misuse
Okay.
by the companies and organizations
Yeah.
that are developing and using AI.
That's a really important point. It's not just about the technology.
Right.
It's about the people
It's about the people.
and organizations behind it.
That's why it's so important to support companies
Yeah.
that are transparent about their data practices
Right.
and have strong policies in place
Right.
to protect user privacy.
So it's about doing our research.
It is.
Yeah.
And making informed choices
Right.
about who we trust with our data.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the technical details of AI and passwords
Yeah.
to the ethical considerations
That's fun.
surrounding this technology.
It's a big topic.
Before we wrap up, I have a question that's been on my mind.
Okay, go ahead.
If AI is getting so good at both cracking and creating passwords,
Yeah.
is it possible that someday we won't even need passwords anymore?
That's a fascinating question.
Something I've been thinking
A
about.
lot of people are thinking about that.
Yeah, passwords can be a pain to remember.
They can be.
They're constantly being compromised.
Right.
So the idea of a world without passwords is pretty appealing.
It is appealing.
It definitely sounds appealing,
Yeah.
but is it actually realistic?
Well, there are definitely people working on alternative forms of authentication.
Alternative forms of authentication.
Yeah, ways to verify your identity
Yeah.
without relying on passwords.
Like what?
One area that's getting a lot of attention is biometrics.
Biometrics.
Yeah.
Using things like your fingerprint,
Yeah, your
your
fingerprint.
face to unlock your
Your
account.
face, exactly.
Yeah, I use that on my phone.
I do too. It's becoming more common.
It's pretty cool.
But even with biometrics,
Yeah.
there are still challenges
Okay.
and concerns,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to privacy.
Right.
So it's not a perfect solution.
So it sounds like the perfect solution might not exist yet.
That's probably true. But that doesn't mean we should stop looking for better ways to protect our information.
So the future of authentication is still very much a work in progress.
It is. It's exciting.
It's exciting, yeah.
Who knows what the next few years will bring?
Maybe we'll all be logging in with our brainwaves someday.
Now that would be something.
That would be pretty wild.
But in all seriousness, the future of authentication is likely to involve a combination of different approaches.
So a multi-layered approach.
A multi-layered approach, exactly.
Using the best of what we have, plus new technologies.
Yeah, new technologies we haven't even thought of yet.
Exactly. It's all about finding the most secure and user-friendly ways to keep our information safe.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a wild ride.
It is.
I'm both excited and a little nervous to see what the future holds.
Me too, but one thing's for sure.
What's that?
It's going to be an interesting journey.
Oh.
We've gone from ancient battlefields to AI-powered phishing scams to the possibility of logging in with our brainwaves.
It's been quite a journey.
This deep dive into AI and password security has really opened my eyes.
I think the most important thing we've learned is that knowledge is power.
I totally agree. The more we understand about how AI is being used, both for good and bad, the better prepared we'll be to protect ourselves in this crazy digital world.
Exactly. It's not about being afraid of AI. It's about understanding it, its potential, its limitations.
And being proactive. Taking steps to be more secure online.
Absolutely.
So for anyone listening who's feeling a little overwhelmed by all this talk of AI and passwords, what's the one takeaway you want them to remember?
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
AI might seem complicated, but there are simple things you can do to stay safe online. Start with the basics. Strong, unique passwords for all your accounts.
All your accounts.
And a healthy dose of skepticism when it comes to emails and online messages.
Great advice. And if you're looking for extra security and convenience, consider an AI-powered password manager.
Absolutely.
They can really simplify your life and make sure your passwords are as strong as possible.
Exact. And remember, technology is always evolving. So stay informed.
Stay informed.
Adapt as new threats and solutions emerge.
So it's a journey, not a destination.
Well said.
Well, folks, it looks like we've reached the end of our deep dive.
It has been fun.
We hope you found this exploration of AI and password security informative. And maybe even a little bit entertaining.
A little bit of both.
And most importantly, we hope you feel empowered to take control of your online security and navigate this crazy digital world with confidence.
Absolutely.
If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to check out our other episodes.
Yes.
Where we explore all sorts of fascinating topics at the intersection of AI and everyday life.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment.
Yes, we love hearing from you.
We do.
Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep exploring.